G'day everyone and welcome back to the farm for another exciting episode. Well, as you know, I love a sickle bar mower. I refuse to get a slasher because I think the grass we have here, the African love grass, is just going to beat the slasher every single time. So I have gone out and purchased a few sickle bar mowers. Now, for those who don't know what a sickle bar mower is, I'll quickly show you. So this here is what we call a sickle bar mower. Sun's in your eyes there. So essentially it's an attachment that goes on the back of a tractor. It is powered by the PTO of the tractor. It has a bar here with a blade running down the center of it with teeth on it. And it is, I'll say powered again. So the PTO connects to a pulley here, and that pulley with belts, just regular fan belts, attaches to a main power unit here, which is like a cam. And this cam has a shaft that runs through it out to the back here. I don't know if you can see down in there. And what's happened is I have oiled it a few times, but I was using it the other day for about 8 hours, and I think I've burnt out the bearings inside there. So what I have to do is either fix this one, which I intend to do, but it is a bit of a nightmare. While I'm waiting for parts here, the grass out there continues to grow and grow very quickly. So what I'm intending to do is dig up the old one here and put the blade on with the teeth, and also install a new, what they call a pitman arm, which runs from this cam here through to the other side, or the base of the blade. I'll quickly show you here. The arm comes down like this, and that pitman arm here runs, as I said, from the cam through to a connection plate here, and is connected to a ball socket or a ball, and then that is connected to the bar that sits underneath here, which is connected to each of these blades, or each of these teeth are connected to it. So essentially what I want to do is take the pitman arm off and the bar and attach it to the other sickle bar mower over here and get that up and running. So this one was working perfectly until I burnt out the pitman arm, which was a wooden one. Here's the wooden pitman arm that I made for this machine. And as you can see, it just literally burnt out where I'd connected it with bolts. Because it's running at 1,000 revs per minute for, 8 hours a day, they do burn out pretty quickly. That's why I replaced the wood with the steel square tubing, and the steel square tubing obviously can't burn out, so it lasts a little bit longer. So guys, when you're dealing with heavy machinery, always wear safety clothing, wear a hat, glasses and safety boots. To loosen or unhook the connector plate here, I just use a piece of steel Rio, slide it up in there, and there's a hook here, or I don't know what you'd call it, and a couple of hits with a hammer, and it should just pop out. See there? So it moves backwards and forwards, which opens up the ball joint, which then allows you, with a bit of power, to disengage it from the steel bar here. Bar in. Fingers crossed it'll just slide in. Right. Because there's little inconsistencies in the bar, as in it may have warped or twisted somewhere. If you have a look here, see this is on top of that plate there, when it should run this should be lowered down. So that's what's preventing it from going any further. It should run right on the top of that or underneath it. But here, we're still jammed up here as well. So I'll have to push it back out and then fix up these fingers here. Okay, I found the culprit. That tooth there is getting wedged on this edge here. So we've got to back it up and try and slide it in again. Okay, so we're making progress, but what I'm finding is this here keeps getting hooked up there, which is preventing it to slide through. And so I'm constantly adjusting it. It is slowly getting there. Slowly. Catch you, monkey. The problem we have is that this bar, the bar and the teeth have been on the other sickle bar mower and have worn in a groove and become sort of one with it. So now I'm transferring it from one bar to the other. It has to realign and readjust itself. Once it's in, it'll be fine. It's hooked up somewhere there now. Aha, at the end here. So I'm not sure if you can see this here. This here is getting hooked up. Where are you? There. So the corner here, this lip here is too low for this here, so that should ride on top of here. So I've got to bend that up. Okay, I've been able to get that in there, so it looks like it's all in. One pitman arm. So we're a little bit off there, so we have to bring that forward or something has to go back. There you go, and then there you go, that's on. And then hit it in. There you go. That's on tight. It's pretty tight on there and it'll just have to groove itself in. It does spin a bit freely, sort of. I reversed it here, let's try and get it off. Sun's going down, but I do have to get this sorted. I want to be able to use it tomorrow. I'll put this bar up because it does make it easier to maneuver around.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's the next day, next morning. Beautiful morning. Look at that. Nice and cool. Sun's out, but it's nice and cool. It's not 98% humidity and 45 degrees yet. So I packed this up last night. I ran out of time and patience, and I thought, well, yeah, pack it up and go inside, and we'll tackle it in the morning, which is where we are now. But before we start, let's go and check on the chickens. So I wonder if you can notice the difference. I've had the cows in here a few times grazing down all of this kikuyu and clover, and they seem to have smashed it down, which is great. They've also smashed a couple of my trees. My ficus here, I don't think that'll bounce back. They've stripped that down. But yeah, they tackled the grass, which is what we wanted. Here's the girls and the boy, the rooster. My 4:30 a.m. alarm clock. Let's let them out so they can go for a bit of a pick. Hey girls, come on. Come on. So we've got a couple of, the black ones are Australops, and the white and black ones are light Sussex. And of course we've got the 2 guinea fowl there, or as our friends in Namibia call them, government chickens. Let's let them do their thing. They'll pick around here all day and then they just go back in at night. So, not now, but in the future, I intend to extend the run of the chicken coop. We've got, it's about 6 metres, I think, but we've got another 8 metres on the other side, and we've got another 12 metres that runs along this back fence here. So what I intend to do is make the whole back fence a chicken run, and perhaps, you never know, get some more chickens, who knows, but that's another day. So of course I've got my little Rocco boy, little farm dog. He's getting there, he's slow. He's a slow learner, but he's getting there. What do you reckon? Hey? So let's tackle this thing. I think when I left last night, I installed the pitman arm, I installed the bar, but the bar was getting stuck along the fingers or somewhere else. But so what I had done is, I'll show you. What I was finding with these guides here, which keep the teeth down so they don't pop up, I found that the guides were rubbing too much along the top of the teeth, so we had to put in a couple of fillers there. I think you call them a filler. I'll call it a filler. Let me just pop this down for my knees, my crippled knees. So just to lift this up, oh, my neck. Oh. What I did was take these off. So I installed a couple of washers. I think they're called something else. So yeah, by installing those washers, it's raised it, you know, 3 mils, or the thickness of the washer, which will then free up these teeth in the blade. So this one here, spacers, that's what they're called. I've put spacers in, but this bolt here I've lost. Well, I've got it, but it's too short, and no matter what I try, it just doesn't want to work for me. So I'm just going to use the old high tensile, throw that in there with a split washer if I've got one. It's not the most conventional way to do things, but to pick up these parts I'd have to drive an hour, about an hour away to get it. Let's see what size this is. Yeah. Here we go. Question for everyone: how do you keep your clothes clean when you're working on them? How do diesel mechanics and mechanics keep everything clean?
Maybe I'm just a bit of a grub, eh? Show you the other problem we have. There is a plate that sits just there that's bolted down, and what was happening is it was rubbing against another plate on the bar and preventing it from sliding. So I've loosened this here, but I'll have to obviously tighten that up, but I'll put a washer underneath it just to give it that additional room to move. Hey, my little Rocco boy, how are ya? Hello, my little Rocco boy, good boy. Okay, another thing I found last night in the dark is the shear pin that goes between the axle of here and the end of the PTO shaft. So that's come undone. So we'll put a new shear pin in there and hopefully that'll solve that problem. Get that on. Not too tight. What I will do, I saw this trick the other week, and you get a chisel and just mess up the threads so that if that little nut does come loose, it won't undo itself beyond the thread that I've damaged there. So hopefully that'll work. Okay, let's have a look and see what we've done. PTO shaft is connected. We've replaced the shear pin in here. We have oiled everything, greased everything. We've replaced bolts here and washers. We've put the pitman arm on. We've put some spacers, installed some spacers in here just to give those guide caps a bit more freedom, a bit more room to move. Let's pop this down. And we have released the pressure on this base plate here. Let's hope it starts and works. I can't see why it doesn't. Just found a washer. Little Rocco's getting out of the heat. It stopped because I got off the seat. So everything seems to be working perfectly. Let's give it another run. Put the brake on. Ooh. PTO button. Let's go cut some grass. Try not to spill it everywhere, hey? Let me give that a clean out. Rookie error, I filled this up to the top. It's 20 litres, so my muscles in. Not as good as I once was. Rooster's there having a bit of fun. I think he's got his timing wrong. That should do it. And another thing, I need to make these caps bright yellow or bright green. No, not green. Bright yellow or bright red. I don't know how many times I've forgotten to put the cap on, only to drive off and have to retrace my steps. So I brought the grease gun as well, so I'll go through and if I can never work these things. Here we go. Okay, let's get back onto it. Before I jump back on, I'll just quickly show you what I've done. I don't know if you can see the difference. Oh, there's a strip there. It's before and after sort of thing. So I've got 3 acres in this paddock just here. I've got another 7 acres out the back there where the sheep are. But this is what we're cutting down. This stuff here, it's all gone to seed, and it's called African lovegrass. And if you keep it below a foot, or between a foot and a half, it's got a 19 to 20% protein content. So it's quite good for the cattle. But what happens is it's quite a dominant species, and it takes over and kills off all the other grasses that we have in here. So there's a bit of cooch and there's a bit of kikuyu, but mainly it's all lovegrass from Africa, and they originally brought it across to Australia to combat erosion along the sides of the roads down in Canberra and southern New South Wales. And yeah, it's just blown up like every other species. Just it takes over. Another day down. So looks like I've got the sickle bar working really well. The grass is being slashed quite easily. I've got 2 more jobs that I need to get done. I need to fix the gearbox in this seed spreader, and this is a doozy, this one. I've got to fix the PTO shaft in here. Well, it's not actually the shaft. I'll show you. It's the shifter that you use to engage the PTO. It just slides out. So it looks as though a shear pin or something has fallen off that. So what I have to do is, this is going to be a debacle. I'm going to have to undo this here and take all of that top section off to get down into that gearbox, or the PTO gearbox area. Unless I can get in it underneath there, but I don't think I can. I'll have to have a look, but that's another day or another year. Anyway, guys, there's more work than we know what to do with. Thank you all again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. I'm filthy. I need a hot shower and a cold beer. Thanks again. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye.